My name is Anne, and this is Toby. And Toby's pretty distracted right now because he's got a buddy to play with. Ellie's here. Come here, Elle. Come here. Come and say hello, Ellie. Get up. Get up. Get up. Come on. Get up. Let me see you. Come on. Oh, yeah. Get right up. Oh, this is Ellie Bells. Ellie is my son's Brittany Springer Spaniel. And it's hard for her to get up there. She's a lot bigger than Toby. And so Toby's kind of distracted playing with her all the time. She's staying with us for a week. So Nana loves having Ellie over. I'll put a picture of her in here with Toby so you can see the size difference between them because it's quite funny. And she's so gentle. She's about 6 or 7, I think, and she's so gentle with him. Like, really, really gentle with him. Of course, all he wants to do is jump up at her and play with her and, you know, all that kind of business. But anyway, I digress. Welcome to episode 20 of a Tobyknits podcast. I'll reintroduce myself. I'm Anne. That was Toby, my Yorkshire Terrier puppy. Well, actually, he's just over 1, so he's not really a puppy anymore, is he? When did they stop being puppies? Anyway. And we live in a little village called Marrickville, just outside of Ottawa, Ontario, in Canada. Snowy, cold Canada right now, with my husband Bob. And I have 2 grown boys who have both married, flown the coop, and one, of course, is going to make me a nana soon. And I am retired and leading a very crafty life. I knit, I crochet, I sew, I scrapbook, love scrapbooking, I journal, just getting into that big time right now. Although really I've journaled for years and years, but incorporating pictures and stuff this time and other crafty stuff. And I bake, and what else do I do? I don't know. Play with planners, all kinds of stuff like that. Anything involving paper, really. So today, I'm drinking a chai latte. Very lovely, very hot. And I am going to have some notes here because I tend to forget and squirrel off. If you've watched my podcast before, you probably know that. If you are new to the podcast, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad you found me. Hit the subscribe button and the little bell notification if you want to know when any other videos come up. But I tend to try to do them every 2 weeks. And you need to go get a cup of tea. That's kind of one of those things when you watch my podcast. You really need a cup of tea and a comfy chair and sit back, relax, and just take 20-25 minutes to yourself and listen to me squirreling away at you. And if you're returning, hey, glad you're back, pal. Okay, so what have I got for you today? Today I have got some 2 finished objects, one of which I just might be wearing, a couple of works in progress, and some exciting yarny goodness to show you in What You Got, Anne, and of course some news about my shop. So stay tuned. You can find me on Instagram as Tobyknits, on Facebook as Tobyknits, on Etsy as Tobyknits, and on Ravelry as Brit Hockey Mum, because I actually am a Brit, and I used to be a hockey mum when my lads played hockey years ago. So I've had my Ravelry account a long time, and I don't feel like changing it. So anyway, let's get on with the show. Finished objects. So first off, I finished the ADVENTurous Wrap by AMBAH O'Brien, and it is gorgeous. The yarn I used was the Advent yarn from my Legacy Fiber Arts Advent calendar that I had opened every day in December. and you make 2 triangles. So here was the one triangle. I think this was day 13 to 25. And then this one, which of course is upside down and supposed to be, was day 1 to 13. Yeah. Rubbish at math. But I just love it, and it's very comfy. Of course, you can twist it. Every time you put it on, you'll get a different color, because however you put it around your neck. And sorry, they're deciding to. Ellie doesn't want to play right now, so she's trying to sit down somewhere quietly, and Toby has this ball that he's insisting that she play with. You see what I mean about squirreling off? I really can't help it. It's just, you gotta kind of bear with me, you know? When I was with my mom and my auntie, all 3 of us could have completely separate conversations at the same time, and we all knew what was going on. I don't know how that works, but it worked. And my brain apparently can handle 2 or 3 things at the same time and know where I left off most of the time. So yes, this is a really lovely knit. I love the yarn immensely. I'm definitely going to get some more Legacy Fiber Arts yarn, because it was a dream to work with. The colors are beautiful. I think Sue dyes the colors, and Chelsea, her daughter, some other daughter outfit, she handles, I think, all the website and stuff like that. But oh, I just love it, and kudos to you, Sue. This is brilliant coloring. I love it. So that was the first thing that I finished, and I literally finished it, I think, the end of January. So I started it January the 1st, and I'm pretty sure I finished it like the 29th of January. So I thought that was kind of cool. It took me the month. Then the other finished object that I have is something I made for my grandson, Toby. I am knitting him already a blanket, which I'll show you in my whips, but this is a little bib. And it goes over his head like that. And fits on him. I thought that was super cute. And I saw this, a friend and I went to one of my favorite yarn shops is in Smith Falls, and it's called Yarns Aplenty. And we went in there. I went in there just to help my friend pick some needles, because I have plenty of yarn. But of course, she had something that I thought looked fabulous. And it was this little bib, and it was on a counter. And so I thought, oh, I have to get one of those. I'd never seen one like that with the back, you know, like that. And I mean, I've seen them where you tie them, but I thought this was super cute. And of course it's cotton, so it can be thrown in the wash and it won't shrink, and everything should be perfect. So I got 2 colors. I got this color, and I also got this one. So this was the yarn that I got, and it's 100% cotton. These are 50-gram balls, 74 meters. And I think I used 4.5 millimeter 16-inch circular needle to do this part. So this was, you start at the top, and this is all done as one. And then you cast off so many of the stitches, and then you start on the regular long needles, which I had to dig out because I've been mostly working on DPNs and circulars for so long. I had to go find the needle, and the needles I have actually belong to my grandmother, obviously, who's since passed away, but they're my nan's needles. And it's so funny. Oh, I have them here, I'll show you. So these were her needles, and if you notice, they're 2 different sizes, but they're actually the same needle. So they're both 4.5 millimeters, but literally one is longer than the other by quite a bit. I don't know how that happened. I have no idea what the other 2 halves of these needles are, but they were my nan's and I don't care. So that's what I used to finish this off with. The pattern is called the Easy Stay On Bib, and it is by EILEEN Casey Creations. And yeah, and it takes, like, I had left, I don't know what I did with the bag. I had left, oh, here it is, this much of the yarn. So quite a bit of yarn left. I'm not sure if it would be enough to make another bib, but yeah, so I could, if I have the same amount of this left, then maybe I can combine and do a striped one. Oh, that's what I'll do. That's what I'll do. So, because you can never have too many bibs, can you, really? Crikey, my son Andrew, when he was a baby, oh my God, he was the worst drooler ever. Like, I think I kept him in a bib all day because he just dribbled and drooled all the time. So, if his son's anything like it, he'll need more of these. So yeah, I was very happy with that. So that were my finished objects. That didn't sound really good English, did it? It sounded a bit like it was from Yorkshire, that. And I ain't from Yorkshire. Not that there's anything bad about Yorkshire, but I'm from Liverpool, so definitely different, as you can tell. Anyway, so let's move on to works in progress. So I picked up the Hippo blanket again, and it is residing in my Fletcher bag, which I haven't actually put in the shop. This is just my first one. Now, it's hard to show you this because, of course, they are all in balls that, oh dear. They're like, because it's intarsia, it's all little itty bits of yarn. So here is how the top hippo is coming. They're coming along fine. I'm not that far off of finishing the top hippos. There's 3 of them. And they will look like the bottom hippos are here. They're just the other way in color. So that's the bottom of the hippo, and in the middle is just plain stripe. So they are definitely coming along. And I did have a little problem with them in that I picked it up to start again because I hadn't knit on it for a while. And here was it, Ellie. You can go open the door. You can go. Go see. It's just Granddad. Sorry, she was sitting at the door just looking at it. So I picked it up and started on it again. And of course I couldn't remember where it left off, although I had marked, you know, on the chart. So I'm knitting away merrily on it, and knitting and knitting and knitting, and I obviously wasn't paying any attention. And and I realized after I was checking my count that I had done 4 rows too many in the color work. So the hippo would have looked ridiculously wonky. Probably wouldn't have looked like a hippo. So of course I had to take it out. Well, when you're dealing with like intarsia and you've got all your strands, yeah, wasn't my favorite thing to do. But I laid it purlwise on my dining room table and had all the balls all detangled, because let me tell you, they get tangled, and I hate that. And then they got all detangled and laid out, and then literally I just pulled out my needle and I just unpicked, unraveled, rolled, next ball, unrolled, unpicked, rolled, unraveled, rolled, and just kept doing that until I had gone. Now I was clever in that what I did was I looked on the right side to see where I had too many rows, and I put a pin in so I could see the pin on the other side. So as I untangled and untangled, because I was on the purl side, as I got down to the pin, I knew that I had gone as far as I needed to go, and then it was just a case of trying to thread the needle back into the stitches that were live. Managed. Yeah, I did. I'm pretty sure, yeah, I did. Although I think 1 or 2 of them were kind of backwards, so I had to fix them, but meh. it's really interesting when you're looking at your work. Like, I'm a big fan of reading my stitches, and I'm really getting much better at it now, and I enjoy it so much more that way. Yeah, I find things easier, like when I am ripping out, or when I am, you know, doing afterthought heels or stuff like that. It's just easier. So really look at your yarn, look at your stitches, look at your piece that you're working on, and look to see how the stitches look the right way, how they look the wrong way, how they look if it's a purl, so that when something does go wrong, you can see immediately where you've gone wrong, and when you fix it, you can see how to fix it. That's my bit of advice for the day. It's free, totally free. I often give advice. No, I don't. I never do that. Anyway, so that was the Hippo blanket. Toe-up socks are in my Tobyknits bag. This is one I did in a camping fabric. My bags are in the shop now, and I think I have about 9 Netherwood bags, I can't remember, and they're different fabrics. So if there's a fabric that you're interested in and you don't see it in my shop, give me a holler and I'll see if I can either find it or if I have some in my fabric stash. So in this are the toe-up socks. Now, I did them 2 at a time, however not on the same needle. And what I was doing was I had leftover sock yarn from a pair of socks I made my dad, and leftover sock yarn from a pair of socks I made myself, and the colors were pretty close. So I thought, I'm going to see if I can get another pair of socks out of this. And I knew they would end up being a short sock, and that's fine by me. I like a short sock, like with just like a 3-4 inch from the cuff to where the heel is. I like that. I like a small ankle sock. So here is, I started toe up, another adventure in toe up. And so here is the one yarn I had. Then I went into this other yarn here after I did the toe, and down to the cuff with the stretchy bind off, so it's easier to get on. So I have 2 of these tubes, and then the other one I actually cut in for the afterthought heel. Ugh, losing everything. So here was again the front, and then I have cut in to do the afterthought heel, and am now, out of the way, about to do the heel, which is just like doing another toe. So hopefully I will have enough yarn for that, or I may have to figure something else out. But I wanted to do them both at the same time, and literally that's how much yarn I had left from this after I had done both of the socks. I did these as a 60, and I'm hoping that they'll be wide enough. I usually do 64. Don't know what possessed me to do 60 stitches, but there you go. And of course, naturally, I forgot to do the stretchy bind off on this one. So this one, of course, is going to be another nightmare sock to get on. But once it's on, it's staying on. So those are the socks. I'm hoping to get those finished this week. Excuse me. I usually do them in the mornings. You know, when I'm having a cup of tea before the day starts, I usually try them. Or I throw them in the car when we go somewhere, and I knit on them in the car. Okay, so next is in the Bradshaw bag, and there's about 4 of these in the shop, 3 or 4 of these, obviously not this fabric, but different fabric, and they are all hand quilted at the bottom. or they're quilted on the machine. I don't mean that they're hand quilted. I mean, I don't buy it quilted, I quilt them. And they're all lined. And then this in here is the Right Around the Corner shawl, which I am doing with ELLIE as a knit along, and ELLIE is from Craft House Magic. And it's 2 colors of yarn. It's the green, electric, and then it's the garland, which is a green, and they're both the same yarn base, which was, if I can find my tags, because they fell off. Here it is. It is from Knit Crate. It's the Uri yarn from Knit Crate, which is 70% extra fine merino, 20% baby alpaca, and 10% nylon. Fingering weight 400 yards. So it's very nice, very soft. I'm trying to show you. So you start off from the tip here with a couple of stitches on. I got it the right way. And then you knit this triangle here with a row of each color. No, 2 rows of each color, because it's garter. So you're going back and forth, 2 rows per color. And I love the way it looks together. Very nice. And then you have to leave the end of your, when you get to like, I forget how many stitches are on, you have to leave them on another needle. So that's on another needle. And then you cast on just the green on the one side. Oh, that's the wrong side. There's the right side. So here is the other side. And again, you're decreasing at one end, but not at this end. And again, we're doing that lovely bring the yarn forward, slip one to make a fantastic edge, which you then, I'm assuming, we are going to pick up to do the light green on this edge, is what I'm guessing is happening. But so far, it is coming out lovely. So that is what I have been working on. Drop the yarn, and I'll show you, I'll pop a picture in of what it looks like while I put all this back in. And it's a really nice pattern, and it's been fun to work on. So next I had the dilemma last week of telling you what whether I wanted to do the mitered square or the crocheted square blanket. And I did ask a few of you when you commented if what you all thought. And I got lots of lovely comments from people, and I picked a winner who will receive one of my Tobyknits stitch markers. And there's, of course, is my Tobes. And the winner was, I did the random generator thing, and the winner was Epiphany 8276. So if you're watching, if you can, please contact me, private message me. If you go to Tobyknits on Facebook, you can message me that way, or I think there is a message system here on YouTube. You can use that and give me your address. I will put this in the mail for you with thanks for commenting. Anyway, the long and the short of it was lots of people liked both, and actually so did I. So I decided to do both. So I have done a few things. The first thing I did, so here is a mitered square. This actually is supposed to be the right side, but I prefer, because I'm different, the wrong side, because I like that funny little horseshoe effect. And they're very small squares, and I wasn't sure about that. I thought, they're a bit small. But I'm doing 4 together, and I have actually started, because I'm doing the Bakery Bears, Kay Jones is the one who does the mitered square, and she, amongst other people I'm sure, and she is doing on her, I'm one of her Patreons, and she's doing a class or a course or a tutorial over a number of weeks of how to do them and then put them all together. So here you can see I have 4 of them joined up together. There's the joins on the back, how you do them, and here's the front. And now I'm just putting on a border, so there will be a border all around, and it will join to the next bunch of squares. So I thought I would do 4 squares a month of these and try to match it with the season, which is similar to what Kay's doing. But I'm also using the leftover Legacy Fiber Arts yarn that I had from this. So these are the colors here, and this will be my January, I think, just because it was when I first started doing this one. So it's coming along nice. Then the other thing that I did was, of course, the granny squares, and I have made a bunch of them. And again, this is a Kay Jones granny square. She's doing a blanket as well like this, which she's doing 10 rounds. I only did 8 because 8 rounds was 5 grams and the mitered square is 5 grams. So in some cases of this, I had enough to do that. Where I used more in the longer parts of it, I may not have enough to do both, so I'll have to choose which one I want. But these are so there's that one, and this one, and this one. And then this was the number 1 day, but I didn't have enough, so I added some of this color around it. It still looks nice. And this one, and this one, and this one. And I am going to border these all together with the same white that I'm using on the mitered square blanket, because I love it. I love how it makes everything pop. And this is a Cascade Heritage yarn. So those are my grannies, and so I just, when I feel like picking one up, because they don't take that long to make, and I'm using a 2.75 hook, and no, I'm not. I'm using a 3mm hook and a 2.7mm needle for the mitered square. So that is all I have on the go, I think. Let me see. Just checking. Hello, Toby. Yeah, that's all I have on the go right now. Christopher Bonner yarn came. And this is from, this is a Susan B. Anderson pattern. It's a kit, actually. And her company, her yarn company, is Barrett Wool Co. And so it came like this. And this will be the main color of the bunny. I can't wait to start this. And this is the coordinating color for, because you also get the pattern for the jacket, no, sweater and pants that the bunny wears. So this is for that. I think there's color work in it, I'm not sure. Or it might be striped. You get the little eyes, the safety eyes, and thread. And look at this. I love this. This is a little tin, and inside it's a screw top tin. And inside is tons and tons of little stitch markers, and they're the ones that are like a safety pin type thing that open like, oh, I guess hard to see this. Ugh, it's hard to see. Open like that. Can you see that? I don't know. So I thought those were really sweet. I'm guessing we're going to have to put lots of stitch markers in this little guy. But that was my purchase for this week that came. Now, I'm not going to start him, although I'm dying to, right away, because on Wednesday, I believe we get our first clue for the gnome. And I thought I might start with a small thing first to see about, so I'm going to do the gnome first, I think. And then I want to finish the baby blanket. So as soon as I finish the baby blanket, I will start working on the bunny. So yeah, that's about all I've got for you. Nothing much else. Toby's here. You want to say hello now? Oh, come and say hello now. Oh, there he is. Oh, there's my Toby. Toby's going to have a bath this afternoon. Aren't you? You going to have a bath? Hmm? Where's Ellie? Oh, she's sleeping over there. Is Ellie sleeping in your bed over there? Did she take your bed? Who's that? Is that Dad? So I will let you go. I'm going to go finish my cup of tea and edit. Have a wonderful week ahead. Hopefully not any more snow or wind or rain. Oh my gosh. My dad, of course, as you know, lives in England. And he told me that they were having a big storm on Sunday. So I found this live website on YouTube of the planes at Heathrow trying to land. Holy moly. I was like, my husband and I were like obsessed with it for about an hour. We couldn't turn it off. It was, yeah, dicey. Glad I didn't have to land yesterday in England. But anyway, so yes, have a really good week. Give me a thumbs up, like my video, subscribe if you're not a subscriber, tell your mates about me, get them to have a look, see if they like it, and drop me some notes of kindness below. I love hearing from you guys, and I will see you probably in 2 weeks. Bye for now.